Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's Main Event.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. You caught me with my phone in my hand. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. If you think that I'm on my phone 24/7, you are right. But I don't like to do it on the show unless I'm getting some kind of message that I have to respond to right away. These things happen, as you know, real life does tend to happen as we all play make-believe on this podcast gig, yeah? Welcome back to the show, kids. Tom Clark back here with you yet again on another Friday. Welcome back, as we said. It's been a long week. It's been a good week. The weather's been up and down. We've had a lot of rain here this week, yeah? But we're getting through it. I've been to the gym all 3 days this week that I usually go. Actually, I didn't go Monday. Oh, don't hold it against me. I did get there Wednesday and Friday. I'm struggling with my eyes today, so apologies for that. But listen, man, when I go, I crush it. Look at that. See that? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. But it makes me feel good mentally anyway. I get a good sweat going. I go in there and do some weights. I do 5 miles on the bike. Usually what I do, like during the warmer months, is I do 5 miles on the bike and then I walk a mile out back. But I'm not walking when it's so cold I can't stand it. I'm not doing that. I'm saving that for something else. I'll wait till it gets a little bit warmer outside. Because, you know, man don't want to be cold. Don't want to be that freaking cold, man. Let's get the ticker ticking here, kids, so everybody knows the ticker is ticking. There you go. I'd already hit it. So do me a favor, folks, before we go any farther. Smash the like button for me. That'd mean loads to me. I'd greatly appreciate it. How's my lighting? Am I okay? Can you guys see me all right? I'm so white, I light up the entire room. I need no help from any exterior lighting, baby. I'll tell you that right now. I'm so white, I'm almost translucent. Do you know what I mean? Crystal clear, as they say. I'm not white in here, and I'm not white in my taste of music. And I don't mean by color either. You guys know what I mean, right? I got soul. What's that song? I got soul. I can't remember. Anyway, I've got so much going on right here, right now, today. You have no idea. Sorry for being a few minutes late, kids, but thank you so much for bearing with us here. Boink Studios is kicking these days, folks. We had the return of Bear Mode, a podcast review of the Bear, this past Wednesday. We're off to the races with that show as we're going into season 2. It's myself, Big Tasty, Joe Higgins, and Jay Luft. We're having a blast doing that show. And we hope you're having a blast listening and watching it. The audio version of that podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. And the video version, of course, is available where? Where? Huh? Boink Studios YouTube. That's where. Remember, kids, nothing we have is behind a paywall. So please do me a favor, if you will. As we're here today hanging out and having fun, go over to the Boink Studios YouTube and hit like and subscribe and follow and all that good stuff, okay? And I would very, very much appreciate it, kids. It means loads to me if you go do that for me. It would make my day, actually, make my week, make my weekend. Let's say some hellos, and hopefully people are still starting to come in here today, kids. Ray All Day is here. Please welcome Ray, kids. He is the host of Ray Sports and Slams. Sugar Shane is here with us. I'll get it out. What's going on? Shane, I cracked on your name there, my friend. CRP, what's going on? Christopher Ray Patton, as you know, kids, is the host of the Patton Reports and also the co-host of Bachman's Basement. A brand new episode of Bachman's Basement is dropped tomorrow, kids. He and Chris Clausen are reviewing The Mangler. I'm cracking like crazy. I did not hydrate enough before the show here today. Can you tell? My apologies on that. I did not hydrate enough. And plus, when I hit go live, I'm like this. I'm like, ha! I'm all animated and whatnot. You know why? Because this ain't NPR, and I ain't dead yet, okay? They keep trying, but they ain't got me yet, okay? But no, this is not NPR. I'm not going to show up and go, hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Can you imagine if someone's tuning in right now and never watched? They're seeing this. They're seeing me go, hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hey, man, I do what I can do. I try to be as entertaining as I can, okay? I'm no Dr. Johnny Fever, okay? But I do try to do what I can do. I try to make it fun, okay? I try to give you kids something so where you're watching a podcast and I'm not just going, this week on the show, we're talking about this. I've seen those shows. They suck, okay? To me, they suck. They might be hosted by great people. I don't know. Maybe they are. Look, man, look, here's what I'm going to tell you. Not everybody's cut out to be on stage like Chris Patton is. Not everybody's cut out to be podcast hosts. Lots of people do both that maybe shouldn't. But you know what? Go with God, my friend. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Life's too short. Don't let anybody tell you can't do nothing unless it's illegal. Then don't freaking do it. Quit hurting people. That's all. My cereal bowl is still on my table. Full disclosure. Look at that. That's real life right there. One of my cats follows me upstairs every morning to get a taste of milk. So I had to leave my taste of milk in the freaking bowl. I can't just finish my breakfast. This cat. Yes, I still eat cereal. Yes, I'm 12 years old. It's all right. Randy Engel, what's up, my friend? Thank you for watching, sir. I do appreciate your time. Kids, if you looked at the headline for today's show, then you know we're going to talk some AEW today. Revolution is coming up March 15th. And today that holds some significance for me, but we don't have to get into that. But it's going to be a good show, kids. It's probably going to be a banger, as the kids say. And I am very, very much looking forward to it. The company is really heating up as of late. I've been a big fan of almost everything I've seen over the past few weeks. You guys know I can be a little critical at times. Sometimes I overthink stuff. Perish the thought. Yeah, perish the thought. But you know what? It happens. I do those things sometimes. But you know what? It's all good, baby. It's all good. But no, I've been a big, big fan of everything I've seen in AEW over the past few weeks. Let's kick off today, kids, talking about Swerve Strickland. Swerve's heel turn is absolutely setting the tone, okay? Setting the tone for what's to come at AEW Revolution. And I firmly believe that. And here's something else I'll tell you, folks. In terms of where he's at right now, should the heel turn have happened, that kind of thing. We all knew the heel turn was coming at some point, and I think someone on the show last week said, you know, he's much better as a heel. I could not agree more. I think he's fantastic as a heel. I think he's great at both. But look, here's what I'll tell you about Swerve. He is so great at character work, and I don't want to get too deep on you here. We talk a lot about stuff like this, yeah. But he is so great at character work. He's so great at making you feel things. Pro wrestler's job is to make you feel something. Pro wrestler can't make you feel something. Might as well just stay in the locker room. And some guys and gals can do that, and some people are striving and working to find the way to connect. Swerve connects the second he steps through the curtain and before. Swerve's one of those guys who can just stare at you and he can get a reaction. He can make you feel something. That's tough. Any pro wrestler will tell you that that's not the easiest thing in the world to do, is to be able to make a connection without really ever trying to work too hard. I'm sure people are jealous of Swerve, as they should be, because Swerve makes it look so easy. Now, did it always come easy for Swerve? I can't answer that. Perhaps it was an evolution for him and his character, but I'm going to tell you right now, he makes it look effortless, man. He's absolutely better as a heel, in my opinion. I do agree with that. There was one thing he said in that promo this past Wednesday where he all but negated the truce that he and Hangman made. I get it to a certain degree. On the other hand, I didn't like it at all. And he said, you know, Hangman asked me if I had any regrets, and I told him I did. But looking back on it, and I'm like, oh, don't go down this road. Because to me, what that says is I don't regret breaking into the dude's house and standing over his baby while the baby was in the crib. I don't regret that at all. That's a problem, okay? It's not real. Everybody relax. I get it. I'm just saying, I don't personally know if that makes a lot of sense to do that. Dude, you're already over. No matter whether you're a heel or a face, you're already over, okay? So I don't think that you need to actually do that. But, you know, what's done is done. He did it. It is what it is. So, yeah, I can't talk about not being on the phone, but I just got a phone call, so I'm going to have to send this person a text. All righty. So, yeah, again, I'm all for the heel turn. I think it makes a heck of a lot of sense. I'm all for it. And I do think it firmly establishes the tone heading into Revolution. I mean, here's something else I'll tell you is that I love that Brody King stepped up to him. I freaking love it. I love that Brody cut the promo. It kind of came from out of nowhere, didn't it? Where Brody's like, you know, you call yourself the most dangerous man, but I am the most. And I'm like, out of the two of them, I don't know how I would call that because Brody's big, bad, and nasty. Yeah. But at the same time, Swerve is also big, bad, and nasty. So I think they're going to have a banger match on the 15th of Revolution. I actually can't wait to see that happen. Assuming it's going to happen. I think it's already been booked, maybe. So we'll see. I hope that this continues Brody King's upward arc. It continues his upward trend. I want to see Brody continue to be in the world title picture. I think Brody is a great worker. I think Brody, I was going to say for his size, the heck with the size. Brody's a great worker anyway. And he was really, really good during his days with Villain Enterprises, which we don't talk about for obvious reasons. But that was a great faction, by the way, kids. Before we found out stuff we found out, they kind of ruined it for everybody. Yeah. But man, he's just on another level right now as Brody King. So I can't wait to see what the kind of business he and Swerve do together. And I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to also segue into a little bit here about the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks had the big main event match this past Wednesday. The song was playing throughout the match. They're all over the arena. To me, and I know there will be people who disagree with me on this, Tom, the Young Bucks are better as heels. They're cocky. They're arrogant. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm all for the face turn here. I think I had enough of the Bucks not being on TV that much toward the end of the years. Past couple of 2 years, they weren't on TV that much because they'd fulfilled their dates. Yeah. And I just got tired of, we're heels and look how we stick in your face. I don't know. Some of it just got played out to me. Are they better faces? I don't know if they're better as faces because again, their gimmicks sort of land them smack dab in the middle of a heel territory. Yeah. But I do like this resurgence that they've had. Honestly, I forgot to switch the thing. So I called it Young Bucks Revival. No pun intended. I mean, look, the FTR Young Bucks feud, I kind of want this to be done. And I'm not saying this must be done forever. But kids, there's other tag teams in that company. And we've talked a lot here on the program in the past several years, not just about AEW, but other companies as well. There are other contenders. There are other people that you can put in there. And, I get the idea of, well, Tom, people have to be ready. You can't just throw guys and gals in there. And I totally understand, and I agree with that. However, the longer we sit in one place, the longer we sit in one place. Does that make sense? We're not moving forward. I want us to move forward. I want us to move forward in that company. I want to see guys and gals get their opportunities. That's why I love to see Brody getting what he's getting right now, if I'm being honest with you. So, I mean, I am absolutely all here for it. And look, man, am I saying that a tag team should come along right now and just destroy FTR or destroy the Young Bucks to make a statement and elevate to the tag team championships? No. However, if that happened, would anybody kind of have a problem with that? Talk about setting a tone and setting new standards and guys capitalizing and then putting people in spots where they're being booked specifically to conquer or to rise above their station. I don't know, man. I think I'd kind of be here for it. Now, let's be honest about all this. Apologies for looking away. Let's be honest about all this, kids, because we have to be. But here's what I'm going to tell you right now. The Bucks are not going to be here forever. They, like we and everybody else, are all getting older. We may be fighting it, but we're all getting older, kids. And the time's going to come when those two guys, lace up the boots for the last time and they call it a day, and they end their careers. It's going to happen. It is coming, okay? So my question is, in terms of that company, I don't mean the business as a whole when I say this, but in that company, who's going to be the team that steps up? Who's going to be the team are they going to come from out of nowhere? Are they going to step up? Are they already there? Are they going to come from another company? I don't have any idea. But again, what are we looking at? Who's going to be the ones to kind of take the reins? And whether it's with FTR or supplanting FTR and the Bucks, who's going to be the next generation of tag teams that's going to kind of come along and set the stage for what's to come in that company? I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me hit some comments here, kids. Let's see. Ray says, Swerve promo was weird. He's trying to be heel, but the fans love. Yeah, here's what I'm going to tell you, man. No, there's no tweener. Ray, get off that. Ray, I love you. You can think whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. That came off very rude. I apologize. I don't like the tweener thing. I don't think it works. That company can tell me it works all day long. I appreciate their effort. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It never has worked. It didn't work in the 80s with Crockett. It doesn't work now. Okay, it just doesn't. People want to cheer and they want to boo. Now, the fans in that company, either they've been conditioned or they came in preconditioned or they decided along the way or however that works over there. But they all decided, we're going to cheer him. I don't care what he's doing. Okay. But listen, Swerve jumps the wrong guy at the wrong. Listen, against Kenny, he got booed. They can cheer him Wednesday, as you said, Ray. Against Kenny, he got booed. You know why? Kenny's always going to be babyface versus Swerve Strickland. There's no question about it, okay? So that's how you know the guy's heel. It doesn't matter if they cheer him Wednesday. The minute he touches Darby, the minute he touches Orange, he's going to get booed. That's how you know the heel turn worked. That's how you know, right? I mean, he's crazy popular. You're right about that. I don't subscribe to that tweener crap. I never have. I think the promo was great. But we'll see how it plays out. I just didn't like the stuff where he tried to take things back on Hangman. Fernando, what's up, my friend? Good to see ya. It says Brody's not winning. I mean, I don't think Brody's going to win either, but at this point, does that really matter in that company? I just don't know if it matters anymore. I mean, winning and losing does matter to an extent, but you guys know I've been trying to get everybody on to come to the understanding that in that company, it just doesn't matter like it has before in other companies. It just doesn't. I don't agree with that. It's sometimes. But look, kids, people have to win, they have to lose. Do you know what I mean? That's just how it is. I mean, do I want Brody to lose to MJF and do I want Brody to then lose to Swerve back-to-back? No. But that's why I suspect he'll get a couple of big wins in the meantime. I was late today as well, my friends, so do not feel bad. You didn't miss a whole lot. Fernando says, I want to see Brody King get a huge main event push, but I don't trust WBD and Tony Khan when it comes to PR. Don't worry about that too awful much. He's over, and he's a good worker, and he's a solid guy. That's gonna go a long way. I'm not gonna. Well, Fernando, you can do what you want, but I'm not gonna do any of that until I have to. I'm not gonna sway any of that until they give me a reason to. You know, Jay White and Juice Robinson. So, Chris, to your point, do you see Jay more as a tag team guy now? And if the answer is yes, is that because you don't think they're going to elevate him to the world championship again, or like that contention? Fernando, I appreciate your opinions, my friend, but I don't buy any of that. Rock and Stone Cold were not tweeners. They were not. I'm sorry. They were not middle of the road. No, they weren't. They were heel and they were face, and then they turn. I disagree with that. Yes, Austin stunned everybody. You're totally right about that. Yes, Rock bottomed everybody. At the end of the day, they were either face or they were either heel. End of story. And look, it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault because I've went down this road many times before talking about tweeners and heels and faces. But we get caught in a circle of this person has to be this guy has to be that person has to be this. These things don't matter in AEW. They just don't matter. They just don't matter. And for the big stars like Rock and Austin, I don't know that it matters anyway. I know that flies in the face of everything we knew as kids growing up watching the business, depending on how old you are. But it just doesn't matter like it used to. I understand. I don't agree with any of that. I like my faces to be good and I like my heels to be bad. And I like to cheer one. I like to boo the other. That's me though. That's me talking. Okay. But to hear AEW tell it, that stuff doesn't matter anymore. We should just all get over it. Tom, get over yourself. I don't want to get stuck in that rut or that. It's like the Dormammu, I've come to bargain. That's me every week with the heels and faces. I feel like I just keep doing that to you guys. I don't mean to. I don't mean to. Chris says, tweeners shouldn't exist. It just means you aren't good at your job. Oh my God. I love that take. Oh my God. I love that take. Here's something else I'll tell you. The death knell for a pro wrestler coming through that curtain is no reaction. It's worse than getting booed. It's worse than getting cheered. If you have a guy that you're pushing as a face comes out and he gets the loudest boos you've ever heard on the planet, the last thing you as a promoter should be doing is going, what happened? Oh, well, this is over. We're ruined. No, you're not. He got a reaction. You know what's worse is when the top face you have in your company that you book as the top face, you put all the spotlight on, all the promos are about him. He's on every poster. He's on every part of your YouTube. He comes out and there's a smattering of applause and he's not hailed as the conquering hero. That's a problem. When you're top heel, you're top villain. the scar face of your company comes trotting out. If he's not booed out of the building, there's a problem. There's a massive problem. There's not a problem if he gets cheered. There's a problem that there might be an issue in how things are booked or whatever. Maybe you drop the ball on who you booked them against because you put them against the wrong people and folks now are cheering them for whatever reason. Look, people are going to like and hate who they want, oftentimes. But that doesn't mean that you go, well, it doesn't matter anymore. Fans say it don't matter anymore, so we don't care. But, you know, AEW's been in business for several years now, so what do I know? Let's see here. Wilf, welcome back to the show, my friend. David Down Under, good to see you. I hope your family's doing well as well. Rascals look great. That match, man. Rascals look great, dude. They're killing it. They've always been a good little team, honestly. Always been a good little team. I agree with Fernando on the Jay White stuff. Jay White is fantastic. I don't want to just see him as a tag team guy, but it's that company. That company does a lot of stuff, man, that we all sit back and scratch our heads and go, what is going on? What's up, Maria? Maria says, is Loki a tweener? Now you're just trying to start a fight. That's what you're doing. Maria is a king mixer, or should I say a queen mixer? Dave says, I'm saying I don't like to cheer faces. The only two wrestlers I cheered either way is The Rock and Roman Reigns. I mean, I say cheer. Do I go nuts like I did when I was a kid? Of course not. Do I get into a match and I appreciate? See, that as you get older, those things change. I hate this. Whenever I hear a fan say, I hate that wrestler, I'm like, the person? No, not the person I hate. I'm like, well, you hate the character. It's obviously working. Now, on some level, to me, in my head, it sounds like you're a grown adult. What do you mean you hate? Like, I'll give you an example. Paradise Season 2 started. It's coming back, and we just watched the first 3 episodes that dropped. I love this show. And the main antagonist is a character that goes by Sinatra. I hate this character. I hate this character. I despise this character. Actress is great. She's doing her job. You know what I mean? And the writers, of course. But it's, sometimes we compare movies to wrestling. I don't want to get off on that either. But it's because it'll be a thing. We'll be here all day. But it's just an example, just kind of popped into my head. CRP says White could be a single star, but the top of the card is stacked, and him and Juice could be. That's why I was asking you earlier what you meant by that, because you're right. You're not wrong. Chris is not wrong, everybody. The card is stacked. I heard you were going to All In, Ray. Very cool. How about when the fans just start cheering the heel Hulk Hogan? And what happened, Fernando? What happened? What happened, Fernando? Turn face. That's your answer. That's your answer, man. He turned face. Because they saw money in it. And they weren't wrong. Fans cheer for nostalgia. They cheer for nostalgia. That company, every company's got their favorites or whatnot. It was a freak thing on a freak day in a freak country, right? So but it worked. It got over. They saw the handwriting on the wall and said, well, let's pivot. Can you imagine if AEW did that all the time? Can you imagine the number of heel and face turns there would be in a 4-week period? Wouldn't that be insane? They listened to the crowd. They made the decision. They could have tried to keep him heel. I think they did, didn't they? For a couple of weeks or for a week or whatever. They just didn't have him going so hard. But it wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work because the crowd had already spoken. Look, none of this is a perfect science. And people need to understand that. Hopefully y'all know that. Yeah, none of this is a perfect science. Sometimes you got to change. This is the thing about booking, kids. And I'm not telling you anything you don't already know or nothing you couldn't find out by reading someone's book. The thing about booking is you've got your top storylines. You got your top guy and your top tag team, your top ladies, female wrestler. I'm just throwing you some spitballing some ideas here. Sometimes those folks have storylines for 6 months to a year, depending on what company you're talking about. Do you book that way for every single person on your roster? No. You know why? Because you can't. Well, you could, but you can't be married to it. You got to be able to pivot when the time is right. Just like if the fans tell me that tonight this guy is heel, well, Okay, it's one night, it's one show, doesn't mean anything. Next week, is it going to happen again? Okay, well, then we might have a problem. We might have to do a little switcheroo. We can try to get the fans back on his side, but if that obviously doesn't work, what are we going to do? Then it becomes a whole thing like Cody, where it becomes the storyline is the turn, or why he won't turn, or why he did turn. Do you know what I mean? That becomes the storyline. I'm not crazy about that, if I'm being straight with you. But AEW did it. WWE is going to do it. Apparently. Chris says the problem is equates to lazy booking on a wrestling show. Austin's a good example of having an edge but not being in between. He was always on the side of the people. He was till he was full-blown heel. And that's how you know when he was full-blown heel and turned his nose up at the crowd. Remember, him flipping the audience off used to be a sign of respect, a sign of, we're all in this together. I'm one of you. I could have been sitting in the front row. I'm in better shape than that guy in the front row, but I could have been sitting out there. I was growing up. Now I'm here. The middle finger is a sign that, hey, this is respect and you're respecting me, and it's the gimmick. Yeah. But then it became, I hate you. I don't like, remember the night he came out and he's like, the night after the turn, he's like, I know you're all expecting me to just lay him out right now, you know, but it ain't going to happen. When a face doesn't give the people what they want, he is a heel. Period. End of story. A face never intentionally withholds what the people want from him. Okay? Now, again, please, people don't go try to find examples for me, because I'm going to be here all day answering your queries. Like that word? I mean, I guess you can if you want to. It's not a perfect science. As we said last week, when a baby face makes a promise, when a baby face says he's going to do something and then doesn't deliver, that's a thing. That's a problem. Okay? Much in the same vein of, as what we're talking about here today. When a baby face tells you something and doesn't deliver, that's a problem. When a baby face, as we were just talking about, when a baby face is, withholding something the fans are asking for, that's also a problem. It's never a problem for the heels. The heels can lie, cheat, and steal. The heels can never fulfill promises. Doesn't matter. Now, you could argue, yes, Tom, but if a heel doesn't fulfill on a promise X number of times in a row, the crowd considers him ineffective and they don't care anymore. They won't stop booing him, but they don't care anymore. He's not a legitimate threat. You're right. As I told you, it's not an exact science. It never will be. It can't be. There's human people involved here. Human people, go coin that. Fernando, you're killing me, man. You can't. Oh, Fernando, we got to get off. We're going to have to go to another topic, brother. I'm getting exhausted over here. Bret Hart was a heel in America, but a babyface outside of Canada. What do you consider that? It's Canada. Fernando, you're taking the reaction of a country for their hometown boy. That doesn't work here. It doesn't work here. It's never going to work here. You see what I'm saying? That's like saying Kyle Fletcher gets over in Australia against Mark Briscoe, and he did, by the way. They were booing Mark. Who boos Mark Briscoe? Honest to God, they booed him though. Grand Slam Australia. Did y'all hear it? He got booed. Now, what does that tell you, Fernando? Mark Briscoe should turn heel. They booed him. Of course not. Of course not. It's one country. If they go back to Australia next week, same thing's going to happen. Before you say anything, yes, Bret Hart got cheered in Canada all the time. I'm not saying that. We're going to have to move on. I'm going to need a nap for too long. Wilf, I'm tired, brother. My show just started. I need a nap. CRP says when you have 5-15 minutes on the show, being a shade of gray, it won't matter unless you're in a ring. A ring gray like Benoit Malenko. Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah. Oh, and about Jay, 2 or 3 years removed from his best run, got to build him back. Oh, I love that. Build him back up. Yeah, because if you just step into the I'm world title contender again, how are people going to react to that? How are people going to react to that? That's a great point. Let's talk about Hangman Adam Page, kids. We know that Hangman Page is going to face off against MJF. This angle is getting weirder, and it's just bizarre. I don't understand the whole, if I lose, I'll never challenge for the world title again. I don't like this. I didn't like him when Cody did it. And I guess that it would have been okay had AEW handled it differently, had things not fallen apart. I don't think that angle, that gimmick would have stuck with Cody and AEW. I think they would have found a way to reverse it. But then things happened in AEW where Cody could no longer stay there, and he and his wife split, as they should. But no, I'm not a fan of this. Why is that? What did we just say earlier? When a face tells you something and then doesn't deliver, that's a problem. Okay? Now, you're saying, but Tom, this is different. He's saying, if I don't win, then I won't challenge again. That's not necessarily, I know you want me to beat this guy, but I'm not going to wrestle him. Well, then that's a problem, right? That's a problem to me. Okay? Again, face tells you he's going to do something, he should go out and do it. Honestly. So, what's the problem here? The problem is they're going to have to do a take back if he loses. Now, it would make sense if there's no winner, but I hate that. And I don't think AEW's ever enjoyed doing that either. I mean, look back through their history. They don't really care for not a clear winner in the end of the show, at the end of the match. I mean, I don't much care for it either. Because you know why? Once you go down that road, you just keep going down that road. That's a problem. That's a problem. I've had more texts today than I can even begin to tell you. Ray says Page is going to lose because Swerve is going to interfere. It's the only way. I don't like the angle. It could have been, I'll never get a shot at the title as long as you're the champion, but to make it such a broad term in terms of him never getting. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that to a certain extent, but here's what I'll tell you. Why wouldn't Swerve want Hangman to have the belt? Why wouldn't he? It means he could go kill Hangman again, right? Why would he stop him from getting it? He and Hangman don't have heat. Now, they may do exactly what you're saying, and I'll be eating crow over here, yeah. But they don't have heat, so I don't understand what would be the point of doing that. I just don't understand what would be the point. You know what I mean? I mean, again, you may end up being right, but to me, he interferes, and not because it's Hangman, but maybe he just comes out and screws everything up. That I could buy. He just decides, I'm going to ruin the whole main event. I don't care. I'm going to ruin the whole match. But then doesn't that give him heat with Hangman? And do we want to go back down that road again? Do they want to go back down that road again right now? They're going to. It's like Shawn and Triple H can't keep them away from each other for very long. They're always going to put them back against each other. They're going to be rivals for life. You think I'm a tough critic, am I? Oh, well, of course it counts as a loss for Hangman because he didn't win the championship, but that's a great question. I mean, the stipulation is if I don't win, if I don't beat you, then yeah, I guess that's it. That's a good point. If the stip is if I don't beat you, I never challenge again, well, if time limit draw or if the match is no contest or something, then no, he didn't win. But that's a loophole. And pro wrestling is all about the loopholes because pro wrestling isn't real. Spoiler alert. Pro wrestling isn't real. Chris says, big brain fantasy booking idea. Hangman loses, puts a mask on, wins G1 as El Horicado and challenges, I thought you said avocado. El Avocado. Yeah. And Hangman can get back to the main event picture with the Owen Cup, right? Doesn't matter. He just said he'd never challenge for the belt again. Fernando, you're right. But one of the top baby faces in the company, you could say the possibly top baby face in the company, told me he wasn't going to challenge again. I'm a man of my word. I'm a face. You can trust me. I'll never do it. Then he goes and wins the Owen Cup and says, I'm the challenger. And then everybody goes, I thought you said we were going to challenge again. Well, I won the cup. You see what that does? But there again, everybody, as I said 30, 40 minutes ago, this is the Wild West in AEW. They just do whatever. They do whatever. And by the way, before anybody gets upset at me, I watch as much AEW program as I get my hands on. I'm so far behind Ring of Honor, I got to get caught up. I'm going to take a night and do nothing but binge a month of Ring of Honor because I'm so far behind, dude. But I love watching this stuff. I thoroughly enjoy this. If I wasn't watching AEW, if it didn't exist, I'd only be watching New Japan. Honestly, that's it. And I'm not against TNA or GCW or any of those companies. I'm not. I'm really not. I enjoy mystery wrestling, and it's outright freaking silly, but it's supposed to be, yeah? But I really enjoy watching AEW. It's nothing against them. It's just that it's the Wild West on the booking sometimes. Their characters, again, stuff happens. I'm like, why would you say that? But I'm also having to remind everybody here, I may look great, but I'm no longer 20 years old. So while pro wrestling, I can enjoy pro wrestling from the 50s up to now. Do I believe that every era of professional wrestling was written for me as I got older? Not necessarily, no. Can't say that. None of us can. Just like WWE fans right now who are 18 thinking they're writing this for me. Well, give it 5 years. They won't be writing it for you anymore. You see what I'm saying? Things change. Times change. Companies change how they do things. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's not okay. Yeah. Is there any way I see Page winning? Sure. Why not? Why not? I mean, what would be the harm in putting him over? Do you know what I mean? I mean, look, you can't hurt MJF at this point. I don't think you can hurt Hangman either. I just don't think it's possible. You can discredit Hangman. You can hurt him. Like, in other words, do a little bit of damage. Can you destroy him? I don't think so. I don't think you can destroy Max. Max wouldn't allow himself to be destroyed, right? I mean, I think it's entirely possible. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't think it'll happen. Would I be shocked? I'm not going to be shocked because there's a lot of stuff happens at that company that over the years I've gone, and you learn not to. I like being surprised. I like when I'm wrong on predictions. I'm honest. I just, sometimes the booking makes me go, what? Right? Doesn't mean I hate it. It just means it's something different. If you could call this stuff all the time and never be wrong ever, what is the joy in watching? Why would you ever care? What would make you care about that? Do you know what I mean? It's one thing to binge your favorite TV show. You can still laugh at the jokes or the drama or whatever it is that's in that show. But if you knew what was going to happen before it happened on everything you watched, why would you go see a magic show if you were a magician? Unless it was to admire and respect your fellow magician, right? If you knew every trick beforehand, why in the world would you go? What would be the point? I don't like that. People who know the ending to movies before they go, why would you want that? Why do you want a movie ruined by 30 teasers? Give me one teaser, possibly a red band, and that's all I want, and I'm out. And just wait for 2 months and I'll watch the movie. I hate for stuff to be ruined for me. Maria says Hangman wins and loses it back to MJF. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. Chris says it would be terrible. Hangman should chase forever. It hasn't been booked hard enough for him to pick it back up. Oh, you're not wrong about it hasn't been booked for him to win. But the question was, do you think he could win? Sure. Anything can happen in that company. That's the question. You're absolutely right. Anything can happen in that country. Company. For sure. No, it's not been booked hard enough for him to win. You're not wrong about that. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It was booked hard enough for him to win it from Mox, and he lost it to Joe for no good reason. Who saw it? If you sit here right now, whoever the you is, and tell me, Tom, I knew Joe would beat him, you are lying through your teeth. All of them. Straight through them. Don't work me, brother. None of you. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. When that happened, we're like, God, we love Joe, but what was that? Am I wrong? No, I don't think he's going to win. And I agree. I don't think it's been booked for him to win. Would I be surprised? No chance. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Didn't Ford get hurt and they had to call an audible and they didn't get the tag belt? Who are we talking about? Oh, Penelope? Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear, yeah. Chris says, in all honesty, Darby should get it before Hangman unless they do something with that character. I've been campaigning for Darby to get that belt forever. You know what? I don't know that Darby won. I remember him giving an interview after he got back from Everest. He did all that press when he got back from Everest, yeah. And one of the interviews I saw with him, he was talking about that belt, and whoever was interviewing was asking him, what do you think about winning the championship? He's like, well, it's there, but I enjoy doing other things. You know what I mean? Like I don't really think about that belt. So maybe he's at a point in his career where he's like, I don't care about that right now. That's what it sounds like. But I'm with you. I'd love to see him. Look, I thought when Orange was at his strongest with that international run, I would love to have seen him segue that into a championship victory. I would love that. Don't anybody ever discount Orange Cassidy, man. You do so at your own peril. He's so good. He's so good. David says MJF is unreal on the mic, one of the best for sure. I saw that clip of him on the Rosie O'Donnell show again last night. I hadn't seen it in a hot minute. This guy was made to be a star. He was born for this, man, for sure. Chris is like, I pitched Joe. No logic behind it. Just don't want Joe mad at me. That's a legitimate reason to pitch Joe as your next world champion. Hey, man, if I had a company, Joe would be my world champion in a heartbeat. It was never anything about Joe. You know what I mean? We'll see what this thing is about having employees. Suck it up, Buttercup. What is Suck it up, Buttercup from? I know I've used that many times before. Can't remember what it's from. Ray, I'm not going to get into it with you about Orange. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You go on and like whoever you want to like. Not happening. I mean, if we were talking, God, look, I'm doing it because I'm stupid. If we're talking ring work, there's plenty of wrestlers I don't really care for their gimmicks, but I can't deny they're good in the ring, great in the ring. I just can't do it. I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? That's just not how I roll. Like, plenty of wrestlers, I just don't. They just not hitting it with me. I don't dislike them as a person. So maybe it's their character, maybe it's their delivery, maybe it's the way they carry themselves, but I'm just not feeling it. You know what I mean? But I would also be able to say that person can go. They can absolutely work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chris says Orange has had the best title run in AEW history and ain't even close. You know what? I think I agree with you. That's tough. But, I mean, Omega had a really good title run, right? When he was a belt collector and all that stuff. I mean, it was good. I mean, I think that people will look back on Mox's title run when all the dust is settled and say that Mox did some serious damage, maybe good and bad, as world champion with the Death Riders. But you know what? This is what happens, man. Like, this is what happens. This is, we go back and forth and we all have our opinions and we all have our favorites, and maybe favorites is the wrong way to put it, but you guys know what I mean. I mean, this is what we do, man. This is what the show is. This is why I like doing this stuff. That's why I've liked doing it for years. You know what occurred to me the other day? And I got kind of sad when I thought of it. One day I will do the last episode of Tom Clark's Main Event. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I inevitably will do the last ever episode of this show. It's coming. I mean, I don't know how, but one day we'll all do the last of everything we've ever done. Oh my God, this is getting dark. Let's make it a little bit brighter and talk about the Death Riders. See what I did there? How are we feeling about the Death Riders? I meant to put verses in. I didn't do it, did I? How do we feel about the Death Riders versus the Dawn Callis family? Are we still, feeling it? Are we still feeling like this thing's working? Mox seems to be the one taking all the full frontal assault. I mean, and there's a good reason for that too, yeah? Like, they will face off in tag teams and stuff, and tag teams and six mans and mixed tag and whatever. But look, man, let's be honest about it. You take the guy that it's leaning babyface and you put him against Don Callis family members for the most part, right? Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Think about it. Doesn't that make sense? I like it so far because Callis, the family, has enough bodies to throw at the Death Riders to keep these guys busy forever. Okay. So I'm totally okay with that. I'm just curious to see what you guys think about, how's it working? Is it working? Should the Death Riders just flat out all of them turn babyface and just knock off this back and forth stuff, or it's just Mox and then it's not Mox? I mean, I'd like to know what you guys think about it, man. I'm enjoying it so far because, again, the Callis family has a lot of bodies, a lot of members, and I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing because you've got a big supply of heels to feed faces. However, you're feeding them to the Death Riders, which is a thing. And I know what I just said earlier, and I ranted about it forever, it seems like, about the idea of face is face and heel is heel and all that good stuff. But look, man, I got to tell you, I do enjoy this, but I do like watching Jon Moxley. He's just so good. And look, kids, I will say this. Honestly, I think, and I'm guilty of it as well. I truly believe that in the time that I was complaining about Mox and everything, because I was, but look, I was complaining about the title run and why doesn't he lose it? When's this going to end and all that good stuff. But here's what I'm going to tell you, man. Honestly, we kind of all forgot how good he was. At least I did. Maybe I can't speak for you guys. I kind of forgot about how good he was in the ring. He's so good. His character work is tremendous. He's got such a natural talent for this. I mean, of course he does. But, he's just, again, when he's in the throes of all that, I'm the biggest tough guy here, and I'm never going to lose this belt and all this other stuff. I mean, that's a thing that we all kind of maybe had a problem with. And I think, again, that it kind of affected our judgment on who Jon Moxley is as a worker in the ring. He's fantastic. I just think if I feel like if people underestimate Jon, they do so at their own peril with Jon as well. JP, thank you. We just did that movie, by the way. The Princess Bride, we reviewed it on the 6M. JP, have you been here the whole time? You just show up. Come on, JP. We reviewed the 6M on 6M podcast, The Princess Bride, Chris and myself. Very fun show, kids. Maria says, not a fan of the Death Riders versus the Dawn Callis family. Interesting. JP, you're very nice. I appreciate you for saying that. Chris says, I hope the last episode is Moxley putting you through the background. How about Mox coming out of the background through the green screen? Wouldn't that be great? Oh, that'd be wonderful. I'd bump for him. I'd tell him, take it easy on me. I'd trust him. He'd protect me, though. Hope so. Chris says he's good when he wrestles and actually wrestles. He's very good, man. Very underrated, dude, I think. Oh, JP, don't talk to me about computer issues, my friend. I know all about it. I feel your pain. When you and Phil going to do a wrestling stream together? I've had Phil on the show before, Maria. It's been a hot minute. Phil's a very busy guy. Phil podcasts all the time. By the way, kids, go check out Grapsity. Grapsity is not a Boink Studios production, but my great friend Phil Lindsay's on there with Righteous Reg. They do a bang-up job. They've got to interview all kinds of AEW talent. They're really killing it over there. So go follow them on the YouTube as well. Nothing's behind a paywall. Free to follow, free to watch, free to like, share, and subscribe. So yeah, that'd be fun. Doesn't Bandito still have the Ring of Honor Championship? Or did Sammy win it? I thought Sammy had won it, but I could be wrong. I told you I'm so far behind Ring of Honor, it's crazy. Yeah, man, we need to get a lot of people here together on the main event and do something big. We keep doing these Christmas watch-alongs for the 6M, but we have yet to come back for a big something over here. So yeah, kids, let's open this floor up and get your thoughts, comments, questions, words of wisdom. I had an English teacher in high school who used to say, thoughts, comments, words of wisdom. He'd give a big thing, and then that's how he would wrap it up to the class. Thoughts, comments, words of wisdom, all the time. see what you guys have to say. By the way, since it's open floor and it's my show, we've been binging Schitt's Creek. Oh my God, it is so good. We're almost to season 6, and that's when the show ends. I'm getting sad because I don't want the show to end, right? I was aware of Schitt's Creek for years, and I'd seen, I'd whiffed it here and there, but never dove in. We've dove in hardcore in the past 2 weeks, man, and binged the whole show. It's so phenomenal. Some of the best sitcom writing I've ever seen. Some of the funniest jokes ever. It is such a great show. It's my kind of humor. It's very dry, but it's also very, there's a little bit of slapstick to it. It's very witty. It's really, really good. I encourage everybody to go check out Schitt's Creek. It is fantastic. I love that show. Ray says, LL Cool J or Fat Joe? Cool J for sure. Part 2 Gangstar, Rex in Effect, 100%. And if Adam Cole invited you to the grand opening of the Adam Cole leather sofa store, oh man, I'm not getting leather sofa, brother. I got cats. No chance. That thing would be destroyed. But you can have one though. And then later, wanted to get dinner, which included salmon. Boy, I haven't had salmon in a while. Salmon, fries, and coffee. That sounds like a great dinner, actually. And the answer is yes. Oh boy, you covered me up. Yeah, dude. I was just saying the other day, I haven't had salmon in a hot minute. I need to get some. I don't do seafood because I'm the only one in the house that eats seafood. I love seafood. I don't do oysters or I don't do oysters, and I don't do mussels. They're not for me. You know what I mean? My rule of thumb about food is if I would make a face, if it was laying on the sidewalk, I'd make a face at it and intentionally walk all the way around it. I'm not going to put it in my mouth. That's why I don't eat oysters. You know what I mean? If you like them and you love them, good for you and good on you. But I can't do it. They're not for me. I do love shrimp. I like clams, not live, like cooked, But I don't do oysters, man. They're not for me. But I love a lot of other seafood. Crab legs are too much work, if I'm being honest. If I'm going to buy a piece of fish and bring it home, it'll probably be salmon. If it's not salmon, it might be catfish. Do it in the blacket in the skillet, the cast iron skillet downstairs. I'll do that. Tilapia is good fish. I like it. It's kind of plain, but you season it up, it's fine. You can blacken that as well. I like swordfish. Haven't had in a bit. I'm not a big tuna guy either, for whatever reason. I've never been a real fan of tuna, man. Never really been a fan of it. Fernando says, how did Netflix win, then lose? Yeah, I mean, look, as wrestling fans, we probably need to be happy that it didn't go through because Netflix having Monday Night Raw and then, WBD and Max and everything, having AEW, that would have maybe been a problem. So we've dodged that bullet. I'm not a fan of it anyway, everybody. I just, these companies are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Money's flowing like wine to the billionaires, and meanwhile, the rest of us are getting scraps, table scraps. It's been like that for years. That's why capitalism on the face of it does not work, because the poor stay poor. The rich just keep getting richer. It's my show. It's open floor. I don't care. I'm speaking my truth, as they say. This doesn't work. Tom, what's a better system? Don't ask me. I'm not a politician. But I just know, I'm old enough to know, and I've seen enough to know when something's not working. Stuff's not working. Sorry. If you got a lot of money in the bank and you're happy, good on you. But a lot of people are not. And there's a reason why. Opportunities are not there. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that anymore. It's not possible for a lot of people. Okay? It's just not possible. That's why people have to get over themselves. And there's a certain segment of voters who feel that way because they vote that way. But I don't feel that way. I believe we need to take care of each other. We need to take care of people that can't. That can't, they just can't. I didn't say won't. I said can't. There's a big difference. Not getting into that with you there, Marie. I told you I'm not a politician. CRP says, no one wants me shirtless crashing on their leather couch. Have to have a giant spatula to get me off of it. You know what's weird? I don't go around my house with no shirt on. Nothing I've ever done in my life. I might have done it as a kid. But you got to remember, I was the fat kid. So I covered myself up as much as I could. And when I got older, I had weight too. So I've always kind of covered up my body. In my own home, I don't walk around without my shirt on. I used to sleep without a shirt on. I don't even do that anymore. Isn't that weird? It's true, man. It's true. Yeah, and plus, I've always, no matter, I've been in my life, I've been as heavy as 305, and I've been as low as 185, and I sweat no matter what size I am all the time. It's another reason why I can't walk around with that shirt on. It's actually quite disgusting. It's actually quite disgusting. Maria, don't call me ignorant, but I'm not sure I know who you're talking about right now. Forgive me for not knowing. I'm not messing with you either. I don't know that I know who you're talking about right now. Chris says, boxer's only bedtime, but jammy pants made me feel different in my 30s. Yeah. Maria asked if I dance in my underwear like Tom Cruise. Well, it was about to come a whole different podcast. Hey, look, man, if any 80s kid told you they didn't do that slide across the floor, they're lying to you. Especially a guy. They're lying to you because we all did it. Some of us did it better than others. I don't know that I ever made a production of it, but I'm sure I tried it in my younger days. But, I got to be honest with you, man. Like, Risky Business wasn't really my kind of flick. I liked him. I know a lot about him. Well, I knew nothing about what the guy would become later. But it wasn't really my kind of flick. It was fine. But I've never, in my memory, I don't remember ever going, Risky, I cannot wait to watch Risky Business. Oh, it's going to be great. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's just never been a movie I've really ever gravitated to. I just haven't. He's got a new one coming out that looks interesting. I can't remember the name of it. Apologies for struggling. I've actually talk about pajamas. This is a sleep shirt I got underneath this hoodie. When I got back from the gym this morning, I showered and shaved and I crashed. Not crashed, but I put pajamas back on and came upstairs to do my work today. It's real, baby. It's real. I don't wear regular clothes just sitting around my house. You want to know why? It ain't about being lazy. It's about I can't because I live with cats and a dog. And my house is covered in hair from end to end, top to bottom, front and back. Hair everywhere. And if I wear a good clean, because all I wear is black, if I wear a good clean black shirt out in my closet onto my couch, game over. Covered with hair. So I can't do it. What's up, Josh? Josh is so late. Oh, man, I'm so embarrassed, Maria. Nino Brown, not Mino. Nino Brown. Ah, you got me, though. Oh, always Nino Brown from New Jack City, 100%. Not a fan of Demolition Man. Demolition Man's okay, but nah, I'm just, it's not really for me. I love Wesley Snipes, by the way. JP says some of us fell on our focus sliding across all on our faces sliding across the floor. Maria says, are you confident Doomsday is going to be a huge hit for Marvel? I am. I think they're going to knock it out of the park. I think they're going to make, I always like to say the words, $1 billion, $1 billion. $1 billion is over. I don't think that we're ever really going to see that again. I think times have changed too much. Movie going is not the experience it used to be. A lot of people are choosing to just wait till it comes on streaming. And I don't think we'll ever get back to the way movie theaters used to be in the past. I don't believe. So, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think $1 billion is going to happen. However, I do think it's going to be a huge hit for him. I hope it is. I'm a Marvel guy. I'll be there. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Josh said he saw Scream 7. Well, brother, you can have it. Tom doesn't do horror. Tom's never done horror. David says, I know that feeling with animal hair. I have 5 cats and 2 dogs. Wow. You've outdone me, my friend. I got 3 cats and a dog. So, Chris says, I think a boatload of money. I think it'll be an average flick for those kind of movies. Well, we'll see. But Chris, you don't like Marvel. Chris is a hater. Hey, everybody. Don't tell, but he's a hater. Charles Barkley or Karl Malone? Oh, knowing what Carl said? Oh, yeah, for Barkley, 100%. All day, baby. All day, Barkley. For sure. Nope. Don't even get me started on that. Barkley, for sure. Chris says he's not a Marvel hater. He just wants the movies to be better. Well, maybe you're not giving him sufficient opportunity to be better there, freaking Chris. All right, well, you know what? We've all sparred too much today. I can't say sparred. We don't really do that. What's my favorite? Fernando, I'll give you this. What's my favorite Crockett Starcade? I would say Flair versus Dusty is my favorite. You know, if they hadn't screwed up the Sting and Hogan match the way they did, and they did, maybe I would have said that one. But I can't remember any other match on that show either, to be fair. But yeah, that wasn't a Crockett. That wasn't a Crockett Starrcade, to your point. So yeah. 85. Was that 85? Flair and Dusty? Or was 85 when Flair beat Dusty? Okay, I thought it was when Flair beat Race. They called that a Flair for the gold. Was that Starrcade 83? Maybe it was 84. I can't remember. I need to go back and watch some Starrcade. It's been a while. All right, kids, we're going to get out of here and start our weekend. Folks, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Boink Studios at YouTube, that Chris, God, man, we're going to have Chris is reviewing. Chris, you're here in the chat. Tell everybody what you're reviewing. Bachman's Basement episode, brand new episode, kids, every Saturday at 10 a.m. I had 10 a.m. in my head, and it was coming out the wrong way. Every Saturday at 10 a.m., a brand new episode of Bachman's Basement. You're going to enjoy this show if you've never listened to it. If you're a fan of Stephen King, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this, man. I promise you. There we go. Put there. There you go. Autopsy Room 4. There you go. I knew what you meant. Autopsy Room 4. Yeah, it's going to be a great episode, kids. Everybody, please and thank you. Go subscribe to the Boink Studios YouTube. If you're listening after the fact, didn't watch us live, we appreciate you listening, of course, but do me a favor, if you will, kids, go visit us on the YouTube. If you're watching us in real time right now, please and thank you, go visit us on YouTube and follow us. There's no obligation required except for you watch and like and follow and favorite and reshare everything you see and love us forever. How about that? That's all, though. That's all. Then you get on with the rest of your life, but don't forget to support us every day. So that's all I got for you, kids. As I said before, Boink Studios on the YouTube. Please go check it out. Brand new episode of Bachman's Basement tomorrow. Next week, we start it all back over again. Monday, Ray Sports and Slams coming to you at 6 p.m. Eastern live on Facebook and on Boink Studios YouTube. Tuesday, a brand new episode of Tom Clark 6 and Podcast dropping at 4 o'clock. This time, Phil Lindsay and I are doing another 48 hours. So go check that out. You should dig that. Wednesday, episode 2 from season 2 of The Bear. It's called Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear. It's myself, Big Tasty, Joe Higgins, and Jay Luft doing the heavy lifting so you don't have to. All you got to do is watch The Bear, enjoy the show, and then come enjoy our podcast. There you go on Boink Studios YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Thursday, a brand new episode of The Patton Report comes your way with Mr. Christopher R. Patton. Friday, we're back here again in this very chair, behind this very microphone, yet again with these very headphones doing Tom Clark's Main Event. And Saturday, Bachman's Basement. That's right. We take a break on Sundays because I work too freaking hard. That's all. Man needs a break. Got to breathe. Got to take a break. That's all I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. To Chris's point, we did just cover RoboCop 3, in a live watch along. That is up on the YouTube. Please go check it out, kids. I think you'll enjoy it. We had way more fun doing that. We were going to have fun anyway. The movie was not as bad as I remembered. Part 2, hot garbage. I'm just saying. What's part 2?
Hot garbage.
There we go. We got one in. All right, kids, that's all we got for you. Again, folks, thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to Boink Studios on the YouTube. Have a great weekend, everybody. Watch you some pro wrestling this weekend. Enjoy the shows happening Saturday, I believe. Enjoy that. And look, everybody do me a favor. Come back here again next week, next Friday, barring any unforeseen circumstance. We'll be right back here with Tom Clark's Main Event. Remember to follow, like, share, subscribe on Boink Studios YouTube. We'll have more guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. Maybe some surprises here and there. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us very much. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for always being here. We appreciate you very much. And we'll see you next week, kids.
Clark's Main Event. Tom Clark's Main Event.